What in the hell am I hearing? There's Kylo Ren, not Ben Driver. What the fuck? Adam Driver drama? What is going on?
Somehow, Kylo Ren returned. Wait,
Thank God. Wait, no, just kidding.
no, we can't have that. Obviously, we can't have a Star Wars character who's dead return.
Somehow
Somehow I knew exactly what he was gonna say.
Palpatine returned.
Well, that's at least the opinion of Disney executives like CEO Bob Iger and Alan Bergman, co-chairman. Because according to Adam Driver, they are the reason, and seemingly the sole reason, we don't have a Kylo Ren movie.
It's not as easy.
Am I insane, or like, was Adam Driver the only good thing about the sequel trilogy? Even though he was whiny as fuck and threw temper tantrums all the time.
Easy as I presumed.
If you haven't heard the news, Adam Driver, who of course played Kylo Ren, just revealed that he and director Steven Soderbergh were working on a Kylo Ren movie, a Ben Solo movie. They had a script written, they had people on
A Ben Solo movie, get it?
board from Lucasfilm, like Kathleen Kennedy, like Dave Filoni. They were ready to go, but the Disney executives said no. And I think there's more behind this story breaking than first meets the eye.
I think we should tell the Disney executives no as well. I think it's about time we said no. We just go. We just look at him and go, no. No, I'm good. You want to give me the Acolyte Season 2? No, I'm good. No, I'm kidding. I was mildly intrigued on where that was going, but like the whole series sucked except for one episode. So, I'm not that excited to see a season 2 of that. Same thing with Ahsoka. Like, there was some good parts, but the majority of it sucked ass, and I really don't care anymore. It's actually insane that I can say that I don't care about Star Wars that much anymore. I've been a huge Star Wars fan since I was like 5 years old.
this could potentially be some kind of move from Adam Driver, from Steven Soderbergh, based on what they've said in this interview and the comments they've given to put pressure on Disney to make something like this. So I really want to take a closer look at that and talk about why Star Wars fans are so angry about this. This genuinely feels like another one of those missed opportunities from Disney, and that's especially the sentiment I'm seeing online. A lot of people saying, how can you bring back a character like Palpatine and not even explain how he came back,
Somehow.
but then deny Adam Driver and director Steven Soderbergh a Kylo Ren film? And just like most things in Star Wars recently,
Somehow, Adam Driver didn't return.
it doesn't make much sense to me. Hey everyone, it's Andrew. Now, I think Adam Driver's comments about this whole situation are quite interesting, and it feels like there's some external motive. He says that he's able to talk about it now. I assume because enough time has passed. He said he's been in talks about doing more Star Wars since 2021, and I always was interested in doing another Star Wars. But he also might just be trying to create some buzz around the project and potentially put some pressure on Disney to greenlight this thing and actually get it made. The movie was to be called The Hunt for Ben Solo, which I think is an interesting title. I'm not sure they should stick with that.
No, The Hunt for Ben Solo is the worst fucking title for anything I've ever heard in my life. Like, most people, unless they're mega Star Wars nerds, they don't even know who the fuck Ben Solo is. Why would you make that the title? I'm sorry. I'm too mad. I'm too mad. Not that too mad. You know what too mad I'm talking about. I'm far too mad. That's not any better.
Release this. And he says, but it's no more, so I can finally talk about it, meaning it's entirely shut down. And they're no longer, I guess, even looking at developing the project. Or is he? That's the real question here. Let's dig in a little further. I think it's quite telling that he specifically calls out a bunch of Lucasfilm and Disney staff by name. He talked about being approached by Kathleen Kennedy to work on something new, and that Steven Soderbergh put together a story which they pitched to Lucasfilm. Kathleen Kennedy was on board, Carrie Beck, vice president of Lucasfilm, was on board, and Dave Filoni was also interested. Adam Driver even goes as far to call it one of the coolest scripts he'd ever been a part of. He said they loved the idea, they totally understood our angle and why we were doing it.
It's like they can't give us one cool thing that people would actually be interested in. Like, this is the only thing from the sequel trilogy that people would actually enjoy seeing. And they're just like, no, the sequel trilogy's dead. Yeah, it is. Other than the one character that people actually fucking liked. And you're just gonna generalize the whole thing? And be like, no one's gonna watch that because it has Kylo Ren in it. That was the only good part about the fucking trilogy.
But then, this next part's interesting. He specifically calls out the Disney executives. He says they took it to Bob Iger and Alan Bergman, and they said no. They were the ones to say no to this thing, to shut it down. And seemingly because they didn't see how Ben Solo was alive, and that was that. That was that? So you're telling me that the Disney CEO is the one making the decisions of which characters live and which characters aren't alive anymore, and therefore they shouldn't develop more projects? And yet they're okay with doing stuff like...
Somehow Palpatine returned.
And it's not only what all of Adam Driver specifically said that I think can be telling as to what they're trying to do here. We even have a statement from Steven Soderbergh about the project. He said, I really enjoyed...
Why the fuck did J.J. Abrams think that was a good idea to put that in the damn script? And I'm sorry, but the guy who played Poe should have... Oscar Isaacs. He should have just straight up said, I'm not going to say that shit. You're gonna come up with a reason? And, like, I get it. Yeah, I get it, man. Like, you're just trying to get your paycheck. At this point, you're like, fuck this franchise. I've seen the interviews. None of the characters, or none of the actors that were playing the characters in these movies like it, except for maybe Adam Driver. They all admit it was terrible. Especially, what's the guy's name that plays Finn? Hey Siri. Who played Finn in Star Wars? John Boyega, yeah. Especially him. He talks shit on this franchise all the time now.
Making the movie in my head. I'm just sorry the fans won't get to see it. And it's this kind of statement that I think is what's getting us all together, getting me to make videos like this and kind of spread the word about why they're not making this project and why maybe they should be. I'm not necessarily saying it's the greatest idea and the greatest narrative idea to bring back Ben Solo, but I think a lot of people would agree, no matter what you think of the sequels, Adam Driver's performance as Kylo Ren and Ben Solo is one of the standout features of the sequels. And I think there'd certainly be some ideas to explore as to, number one, how he survived, number two, the path he'd gone down with the dark side, and also the juxtaposition of his character to Darth Vader. I feel like there's so many narrative elements.
I think it's so dumb that they just introduced the thing where you can touch somebody who's dying and transfer your life essence to make them not die, and it's like... They did the same thing in Stranger Things Season 4. Force healing. 11 has force healing, but without the force. It's so stupid. It's the worst trope in movie history. It's just a get out of jail fucking free card.
To explore here. In a lot of ways, Kylo Ren was living in the shadow of Vader, aspiring to be more like Vader, I guess you could say, and follow in his footsteps. And I think there's a lot more questions around the morality of this that could potentially be explored in a Kylo Ren Ben Solo film that weren't explored in the sequels. There's certainly a lot of material there. And it seems like, based on what they're saying, they did have a cool story, a cool idea, and a cool script. Not only this though, Adam Driver also talks about wanting to be judicial about how to spend money and be economical with it. Basically wanting to get it done as cheap as possible, but still obviously with great substance. He said they wanted to do it for less than most, but in the same spirit of what those movies are, which is handmade and character driven. He references Empire Strikes Back as being the template, being, in my opinion, the standard of what those movies were. And these kind of statements in an interview like this is almost him trying to twist the arm of Disney, being like, hey, make this move.
You know how many fucking things we miss because Disney thinks that their ideas are better? And their ideas are almost never better. Including with Marvel recently. It's like, get your fucking head out of your ass and listen to what people are saying, or listen to what people want, or just make something that's good. It's not that fucking complicated.
For me. It's not necessarily going to cost you too much. Take the risk. What have you got to lose? Everything! People are also comparing this to Ryan Reynolds admitting to leaking the Deadpool test footage years and years ago, which is eventually what got the audience interested in a Deadpool movie, which is why we now have the Deadpool saga. It's essentially these actors trying to show that there is interest.
And thank God he did that, bro. Can you imagine? We would have never had the best casted character in comic book or movie history if that didn't happen. If Ryan Reynolds just didn't do it himself and be like, you know what? Fuck you. You're not gonna make it? I'll make it to where now you're gonna lose money if you don't make it. That's the coolest shit ever.
For a project like this. And the fact the same thing is happening right now with the Kylo Ren movie, so many people are talking about it, so many people are upset that it's not happening, means that Adam Driver making these comments public, making it known that there was a cancelled Kylo Ren movie, that they have a script, and it's just up to Disney to say yes, I think it's a clear sign that he's trying to send a message here. He's trying to get Disney on his side and be like, hey, just, can we make this movie, please? The fans want to see it. I want to do it. We've got the script. Let's just do it. Do it. I think also the fact he's got Steven Soderbergh on his side. A highly respected, successful director. Over the years, he's had so many successes with Ocean's 11, Aaron Brockovich, Contagion, Magic Mike. Some people are saying it definitely would make sense to bring back Kylo Ren, considering the ending he was given in The Rise of Skywalker. I really don't think that matters, honestly. I mean, they brought back Palpatine, they brought back Darth Maul, they brought back Boba Fett. Like a panther. Why are we drawing the line at Kylo?
I'm looking forward to having some real talk with some real folks.
Adam Driver, big, successful AAA Star Wars Hollywood actor. Steven Soderbergh, hugely successful Hollywood director.
I'm looking forward to having a real talk with some real folks.
This movie, got the script ready. Disney, let's
like
do
a panther.
What have we got to lose?
Exactly.
So let's talk about how they would bring Ben Solo back, because in a lot of ways, I think he is kind of easier to revive than a character like Palpatine. And I think in some way they would need to also include Rey in this movie, even if it was only briefly. I feel like the best idea would be that because Ben Solo gave Rey his life energy at the end of Rise of Skywalker, he exists somewhere within Rey. So, I guess could be reborn from her somehow. Midi-chlorians, who knows, man.
Do you guys remember, like, Palpatine was trying to tell Anakin that there was, like, a way to stop people from dying? I just realized Rey was the one that figured that out. After Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Did I miss somebody? Leia? Did I say Leia? Padme. After the whole Jedi Order was dead, now we figured it out. Now we figured out how to force heal. Really? After every important character, after every important character is dead, now we figure out how to force heal. Oh, I see. I see what we're doing. So now none of the important Disney characters can ever die. Awesome. So Grogu's gonna be in danger, and he's gonna have a life-threatening injury. And he's going to be force healed because he's not allowed to die. Same thing with the Mandalorian. He's going to have a life-threatening injury and he's going to be force healed by Grogu, probably. Like, nobody's ever going to die anymore. Like, do you see the whole problem here? Same thing with Ahsoka in fucking time traveling. That's the only way she's still alive because she died. But then they went back in time and saved her from dying. Do you see how this breaks the fucking universe every single time? Oh, not to mention Qui-Gon Jinn was dead. Anakin's mom was dead. Every character from the Clone Wars, all the clones are dead. all the senators, all the politicians, everyone from the CIS to the Republic. They're all dead. But now we figured out how to make people not die. Okay, cool. Awesome. Glad we figured that out eventually.
Potentially come back as a Force ghost and then somehow also be reborn, be given a new life. I've always held the opinion that
Oh yeah, my hero, Admiral Holdo. Oh, she's dead too. Oh, the GOAT, Admiral Akbar. Yep, he's dead. Yeah, everybody's dead.
Solo should have survived at the end of Rise of Skywalker, potentially.
Except for the
instead of
important
Rey. I
ones like
the
Finn
idea
and
of
Rey.
him having to
And that's
live
it.
with the guilt of what he's done. Live with the guilt of having gone down the dark side of the Force and the consequences of that. Rey dying in the end, potentially. But we all know Disney can't kill the Disney princess, which is potentially why we got the ending we did. And yes, it would have been a much darker ending if Ben Solo were to survive.
I really learned a lot, and people are gonna love the new me.
But we can always have hope. Clearly, Adam Driver and Steven Soderbergh do. And I especially like the fact they've referenced wanting to make it a character-driven story. Like I said, I think Kylo's character, Ben's character, is infinitely one of the most interesting characters from the sequel trilogy. Who he is, his bloodline, what he's had to go through, the decisions he's made, going down the dark side, it not living up to the expectation of what he thought it would be, him not necessarily being respected, the anger, the frustration. There's so much to play with there. And I think it's also interesting how everyone is kind of turning their frustration towards Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney. People now saying he is the real problem and the real decision maker behind the direction of Star Wars.
He
Why
kinda
we are
is,
where
though.
we are now, which is, I don't know, man, where are we?
Good shot, baby.
Isn't it strange that the CEO of the company is the
Brother,
one making
what?
decisions about which
Good
characters
shot,
have to stay
baby.
dead? I mean, is that based on sales projections? They don't think they're going to be able to sell enough Kylo Ren action figures or something like that? That seems absurd. And if I'm honest, this project kind of sounds cooler and more interesting than a lot of the other movies and series that are being made at the moment. So can
What the fuck was that?
a lot of the other movies and series that are being made at the moment.
Why am I seeing a buff hut? Did I miss a trailer for something? What is going on?
So can you all do me a favor and leave a comment if you'd also like to see this movie get made, if you want to see the Ben Solo movie. And also I'd love to hear your story ideas. How do they bring Ben Solo back? What's the movie about? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, watch this video for more of me, and thanks for watching this.
Anyways, that was a W video. Hopefully they just fucking make that movie eventually and they make it actually good.